hard to argue with he's got tied with Harvick for the most wins on this track with 3 among active drivers. Before he finished 29th last year, he had finished 3rd, 1st, 2nd, 1st, 6th, and 9th in the 6 previous races. I'm going to rely on Truex to maintain his previous success here and put up a good finish.
What's his odds?
DraftKings had him at I think it was 1,000. Plus 1,000.
And that's what I saw as well. All right, very good. Now, in advance, I'm going to tell you, Rye is not going to take one of the picks from the favorites. He's going to go 2 second tiers today. He's cranked up that knob from difficulty to expert. So, Rye, who you got here to win in your quote-unquote favorite position?
Yes. Well, I do want to say that I do like Chase Elliott. I'll find a way to use him. I'm probably going to group bet him.
Okay.
But I like another Hendrick guy here, and that is Alex Bowman.
Okay.
I found him at plus 1,500 at Barstool. He finished 5th here last year. He's actually finished this race every season in the Cup. He only has 1 DNF this season. His average finish at the track type is 11. In 4 races, he has 4 top 10s in 5 races. His pit crew is good at making adjustments, and I think this long race is going to help him. He'll be in there at the end. Okay. I think pit strategy is going to be huge for this 600-mile race.
Yep, I totally agree. And it's also going to be about who can deal with the changing track conditions as it goes from day to night and the track cools off, so you're going to have to be able to adjust. I definitely like veterans in this spot for sure. All right, so Scott and I both have Elliott. Chase has Bowman, and Chris has Truex. Let's move on to our mid-range picks. These are the guys that would be nice to see them win, but we'd certainly be happy with a top 5 finish. And Mr. Reichel, you're going to kick us off.
Well, I was going to say I think that maybe Rye should go again because he had a mid for the first one, so we could just group the 2. But, yeah, I have Bowman. So there you go. I got 16-1 on BetMGM. A lot of the points Rye just hit on. I am going to throw out a trend that's worth mentioning, which is the fact that the Hendricks Motorsports team has won 12 Coca-Cola 600s, which is the most by any team. So I decided to kind of go with a stack, per se, on Hendrick drivers. I ended up going with Elliott and with Bowman. But Bowman's been very solid here. He has led at least 5 laps in each of his last 4 races here. So at some point in the race, he's usually at the front, and I expect that to be the case by the end of the race. But he's also been really good recently. He's finished top 9 in 5 of his last 6 overall races, including the All-Star race, whether you want to include that or not. But Bowman is 16-1 with the track record that Hendrick has and the fact that he's been good here in general. I'm going with him at 16-1.
Okay, you have a top 5 price for him?
Yes, top 5 is plus 220 on BetMGM.
All right, very good. Mr. King.
I'm going to go back to another older driver, and I'm going to go with Kevin Harvick. You talk about a guy that's had success here. He's the other guy that's an active driver that's won 3 times here. He's finished in the top 10, 13 of the last 15 races at Charlotte. Some pretty good numbers. And, he's been better of late after that slow start to the season. I'm going to look for Harvick to turn in a solid outing here at Charlotte. He seems to like the track. If you look back, going back to 2013, he went first, 6th, second, first, 9, then back-to-back seconds. And then he has an 8, a 3, and then a 5th place finish in that stretch as well. At plus 300 on the top 5. And I think he's plus 3,000 on DraftKings to win. You could do worse.
Okay.
I found 33-1.
Found 33.
Even better.
I've got 350 as far as top 5. Anybody beat that?
I don't see anything that beats that. Chris, are you a bit concerned, though, that since it is 600 miles, the race might end past his bedtime?
It's not, if Harry Gant can win races, why can't Harvick?
Fair enough.
Very good. Very good. I told you one of the most painful things in my life ever. I had a Harry Gant. Had to have surgery. It was terrible. Terrible. Hey, Rye.
After that dick trickle.
Well, that you just take a shot and you're fine. Rye, bring us on home and put a little class back in this conversation, would you?
All right, so I like a guy from Penske. I'm going to go with Joey Logano. I think his outright is about 1,800 everywhere. I think I saw him at 230 for top 5.
Okay. Okay.
But recently he hasn't done well here. The only time he's won at Charlotte was an all-star race, but he does have 12 top 10s at Charlotte with an average finish of 12.3. Same thing with Bowman. He only has one DNF this season, which I like. He finished second in this race in 2019. I just think this is a good track for him. He's a good endurance racer, and we showed last week that his pit crew, when they're good, they're one of the best.
What number did you say you had for top 5?
I think 230.
I found 250 on BetMGM.
At 250 for Logano. All right, done and done. All right, beautiful. So that finishes out that. Let's go to the long shots, the shot in the dark, if you will. Speaking of shot in the darks, I would be remiss to not mention it on every show we do today. My pal Chris King hit his 10-teamer yesterday, including 4 plus money plays as part of that 10-teamer that paid literally 1,000 to 1. So $100 would have been a $100,000 winner for you. So, Chris, give us a shot in the dark for a long shot on this race, would you?
Yeah, I'm going right back to where I was when we were here last time, and I'm going to go with Keselowski.
Oh, good. I've already got you filled in. Perfect.
See, that made it easy. He's raced here 22 times in his career. He's won twice. He's finished in the top 5 times. He's finished in the top 10 10 times. It's the most top 10 finishes among anybody that's in the long shot section of the field. Right behind him was Greg Biffle, but Biffle's not racing, so
you always sound heartbroken. You bring that up every week, and you always sound heartbroken that the old
He's a good racer.
The old 16 car isn't running. Yeah,
back in the day.
Yep. All right.
If you go back to going back through 2015, Keselowski finished in the top 9 on 7 occasions, including a 7th place finish in 2020. He won in the first race in 2020 here at Charlotte, driving the all-exciting 2 car. Hopefully he won't kill anybody. But he's going off at, let's see, on DraftKings, they had him at
8,000 and plus 225 for the top 10.
Exactly.
Yeah, these are the plays that we would really be happy if they win, as I was last week with Kurt Busch, but we would very confidently cash our top 10 tickets. So we give the top 10 price for our long shots, $225 on Brad Keselowski. Mr. Cape, who do you have as your long shot here?
Well, I did want to go with Stenhouse again, but I will not because I took him last week. I think this is going to be a good track for him. I'm going with Chris Buescher. I think he's plus 300 on DraftKings for top 10. He has 5 races here. Last 3, he has been in the top 10. He hasn't had a great year. His best finish was 8th at Dover. He actually won the pole that race. But I just think there's too much value for some guy who's been in the top 10 the last 3 times to just leave him sitting there.
All right, very good. And I've got him at 100 to 1 to win the race. Anybody see a better number than that?
No.
Okay.
At least I don't.
All right, very good.
I don't either.
100 to 1 to win, plus 300 to finish top 10. Very solid case. Well, Rye, I'm not afraid to take the same guy 2 weeks in a row. Did well for us last week. I'm taking him again. I'm going to take Ricky Stenhouse.
I got him too.
At plus 5,000.
Oh, geez, I thought you were going to take Michael McDowell again.
No, I got Stenhouse this time.
Stenhouse has run well. He's got 2 top 10 finishes there in his last 4 races. Average finish position has been 11.3. Led 13 laps, he's led 1 lap. I'm sorry, next column over. He's led 1 lap, but still, it's 1 more than I've led, so that's something. As long as he doesn't wreck anybody, I like his chances here. Again, I'm leaning towards the guys that have some experience at this track. He's kind of one of those mid-range guys, not exactly a young driver, not exactly an old head, but he does have some turns around that track. I'll take Ricky Stenhouse Jr., not his dad, but Junior. And
it's a real bummer that Rachel didn't take McDowell again. Since he's leads active drivers for not having a top 10 finish here in 22 races.
It's impressive. Plus 100 to finish top 10. Is that really right? Wow. Okay.
Well, yeah, I was going to say I found better odds for both. Stenhouse I found at 60-1 on Caesars, and he's plus 135 top 10 at BetMGM.
What did you say? Plus 135?
Yeah.
Take that. All right, very good. Scott, do you have anything to the case for Ricky Stenhouse that I didn't hit?
My main case was that every other book I found had 50-1. Caesars had 60-1.
Okay.
I'll take the overlay on that.
Okay. Don't blame you. Don't blame you at all. All right.
And he's actually been good. He's kept his car relatively clean, which is something you can't say that much. But
Yep.
yeah, when you're finishing, I'd say relatively consistently in the top 10, and you have a decent track record here, I mean, he might not win the race, but he should be at least alive in the final 50 laps.
Yeah. Yeah, very good. All right. Though that's going to do it for our 3-tiered picks. Now we'll go to the matchup section. Rye, kick us off. Who you got over who here?
So I have Bubba Wallace over Daniel Suarez. I found that at plus 120 on DraftKings. Last year at this race, Wallace finished one position better than Suarez. The Toyotas have been running really well, and he should have been fighting for a win at Kansas before his the debacle with his pit crew.
Right.
So I think he's going to be ready to race, and Michael Jordan's going to be there. So little added pressure.
Okay. And you say plus 120 is what you've got that at?
Yes.
All right. Very, very good. I looked at that matchup. That was probably my second favorite play on the board. I found one I liked a little bit better. I'm going to take Kyle Larson. No, I'm kidding. That guy's dead to me. Kyle Larson.
I think Kyle Larson at minus 6,000.
Yes, Kyle Larson is dead to me. I can't pick him right, so he's just going in the trash. I'm going to take Martin Truex over Chastain. A lot of the case that Rye laid out earlier for taking Truex. Yeah, I'm going in right into the teeth of one of the hottest drivers on the circuit in Ross Chastain, one of the most surprising drivers that we've had this season. I think Truex gets it done here. Again, I'm leaning on the veterans. I think 600 miles is a long time, a lot of adjustments to make. Good crew, good car, good driver. Give me Martin Truex minus 115 over Ross Chastain.
The only flaw is I don't think Rye took Truex. I did.
No,
What's that? Oh, sorry. I thought that was what his
No, he was talking about Bowman.
Oh, he took Bowman. That's right. Okay. Well, very good. Okay. Then I'll then allow me to lay out the case for Martin Truex. 3 top tens. His last 4 races, 1 win, 61 laps, led average finishing positions of 11.3. He did have 1 DNF there, and that's pretty much cost him his average. But the other 3 races, he's been very good. So that's why I've got Truex here. Mr. Reichel.
Yeah, you really just stole all my thunder for the week. You know, I got Truex over Chastain. I mean, the way we did not coordinate this,
No.
but I couldn't resist. I know Chastain is one of my favorite drivers on the actual NASCAR tour, but at the end of the day, I still think that Truex is in a good matchup here. He's finished top 10 in 5 of his last 6 races here. Chastain has never finished better than 17th in each of his first 6 races here, and Chastain has been even worse recently. He's finished 36th or worse in 2 of his last 3 races here. I know Chastain now has been, getting a much better crew, and he's been a lot better, but with the length of the race and with Chastain's aggressive nature, it would not surprise me if he accidentally becomes too aggressive and potentially crashes. But Truex is steady. He should be in the running late. Give me Truex to wear down Chastain over 600 miles.
I think there's people out there listening that have been watching our results, and you go, well, we're not coordinating. People going, yeah, no shit. I hope not. I hope they're not. No, we reach these terrible picks independently of each other, but we do come into the same place. So
terrible minds think alike every now and then.
Although, in fairness, if you're patient, Scott and I have both made you money this year. You had a lot of weekends where you were cussing at us, but at the end of the day, you're still up. So shut your pie hole, quit your bitching. Now, if they back Chris, they have a beef. Chris,
yeah, but at least when I picked a winner, he was actually one of the people near the top of the leaderboard, not a guy who was like, oh, well, this guy won because everybody else crashed and died, which was basically how Chastain won the race that Reichel had.
No one cares, Chris. No one cares about your sour grapes. Just save it for the
great
wine.
Story. I just remember cashing the tickets.
Save those sour grapes for your wine, buddy.
Well, we save the sour grapes for Mitch White, huh?
What do you have? He's dead to me. What do you have for your matchup here?
I'm actually going to go with Harvick over Bell, and he's at plus 125, which makes no sense because Bell's been trending the wrong way in his 3 races here. He finished 9th in his first race, but since then he's gone 21st and 24th. We've already talked about how well Harvick's run on this track. I'll take him at plus money.
All right, very good. Well, and that's, by the way, that's the same matchup you had last race.
It is.
I know because I overwrite because I keep the columns the same, and I just overwrite, and I didn't have to do shit with yours except change the odds. So very good, nice plus money price there. So let's go ahead and recap. Rye, would you give us your 3 picks and your matchup one more time, please?
Yes. So I have Alex Bowman, I have Joey Logano, I have Chris Buescher, and I have Bubba Wallace over Daniel Suarez.
Very good. I have Chase Elliott plus 750, Kurt Busch plus 2,000, plus 200 for the top 5, and bringing it home with Ricky Stenhouse plus 6,000. I can't even say his name right now. When I try, I can't say his name without saying Ricky. Plus 6,000, plus 135 to finish in the top 10. My matchup is Martin Truex Jr. over Ross Chastain minus 115. Scott?
So for me, I have a lot of the names we've already said, but I have Chase Elliott to win at plus 750. I have Bowman to win at 16-1, and I have Stenhouse Jr. at 60-1. And my matchup is Truex over Chastain at minus 115 on DraftKings.
So I've got to really root for Bowman here to put some daylight between me and you.
I have Bowman, so why would you be
or Busch over Bowman? Sorry, Busch over.
Yeah, hell yeah.
If you want to root for Bowman,
if you want to root for Bowman and help, Ryan myself out, I appreciate the helping hand there.
Okay,
that's how selfless you are. You're rooting for my mid driver instead of yours.
Yes, fair enough. Thank you for relentlessly pointing that out. Chris, bring us home.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Truex to win at plus 1,000. Harvick is with my mid pick at plus 3,300 or plus 350 to finish in the top 5. I'm going to go with Brad the Killer Keselowski at plus 8,000. At the long shots, he's plus 225. I don't think anybody said there was a bigger number than that for the top 10. And then my matchup was Harvick over Bell at plus 125.
All right, very good. I got to be honest with you, Chris. I was a lot more excited to take Truex when I thought Rye was on Truex. That's okay. That's all right. You're due, buddy. You're due. All right. That's a show for you guys. Thanks very much for stopping by. Of course, you can find Chris at winnersandwhiners.com writing great content. Check him out every day, 2 p.m. Eastern time on Just Parlays. I'm along for the ride for that show. Scott Reichel still doing a little writing over there at Winners and Whiners as well. You can catch him 3 p.m. Eastern time as, again, a show that I am involved with as well, as we head back to the window, 3 p.m. Eastern time, both of these Monday through Friday. Rye, where can we find you, brother?
I'm Rye Cape at every social media. Also do the NASCAR report on race days, usually around noon.
All right, very good. Make sure you check out Rye. Follow him on social media. You can follow all the 3 of us on social media. I'm at Steenroller. He's at Betting Royalty, and he's at Reichel Radio. You guys have a great Memorial Day weekend. Once again, special thanks of all that have served, and a special shout out and salute to the families and friends of those who have served, especially those who have paid the ultimate price. Don't ever think that we don't appreciate the effort of guys like Chris King, who did his time in the Marines. Ryan, did you serve?
No.
All right, very good. So we'll just we'll all thank Chris for his service, and you guys have a great weekend. Enjoy it. Spend some time with the family. Be back to watch that race. And we'll see you next weekend. And now I'm pretty excited. We've got the close that I've been wanting to get the whole time. So we'll get to that. You guys have a great week. Good luck on all your plays, and we'll see you next time. Take care, everybody. There you go.
They've never held a paint can in their lives.
that is not 2 kids that have tagged a lot in their lifetimes. You're absolutely
It's great.
right.
We're promoting